Today on the TMZ Podcast.
Okay, welcome to the inaugural TMZ Podcast. I'm Harvey Levin.
I'm Charlie Neff.
I'm Courtney.
And I'm Charles.
And boy, do we have something to talk about today because Britney Spears just won a spectacular victory in court for her.
Amazing.
We didn't want a cheering section.
Right, that wasn't the point.
We couldn't hold it in.
We are going to break down what happened in court today, what it means, and what's going to happen next, because there is a lot to take in here. Number one, Jamie Spears has been removed from the conservatorship. They said suspended, but the effect of this is he's gone. And that was not done without a fight. Jamie Spears did not want to go today. Did not want to go, but the judge said, you're out. And listened to exactly what Matt Rosengart said, her lawyer, Britney's lawyer, and said, look, this guy is torturing Britney Spears by being here. She is just, she cannot handle him being there another day.
She cries every day. Yeah. It's brought her tremendous sadness, and just his involvement alone. I mean, we know that he's not a part of, he's only a part of the business side, not the personal side, but still just that involvement alone has brought so much sadness to Britney, and the fact that he is now gone is huge for her.
This is massive. Well, and it's so funny because everyone's like, oh, he's going to leave. He's going to sit down so easy. And it showed today that he was not ready to leave and he didn't want to. And that's what everyone thought.
We should say that during the hearing today, Britney was not in court.
Right.
She didn't appear remotely at all. But clearly, the impact of what she said back in June was still felt.
Oh, it resonated.
And it resonated with the judge. And because the judge didn't listen to Jamie's arguments about why he shouldn't be removed. I mean, Jamie walked in today with the sole goal being to end the conservatorship altogether. That's what he wanted.
Today.
He wanted it to end today.
And ironically, Britney didn't. And this is where we can explain this. Jamie said, I want it over now. Matt Rosengart said, nope, we want a hearing to end the conservatorship between 30 and 45 days from now.
And he got it.
Well, but you would think, wait a minute, why doesn't Matt Rosengart want to end it now, just the way Jamie did?
He didn't want it to end because it would be it's an easy out for Jamie.
No.
And Matt Rosengart
they need to
wants
investigate.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly. That's my point. If it ended today, Jamie Spears, that's the best case scenario.
The court loses jurisdiction.
Right. Jamie walks away and doesn't get called out for the alleged abuses that Britney and Matt Rosengart are talking about.
Or taking the extra money,
so by
too.
extending the conservatorship for at least another, it's going to be 45 days because the next hearing is November 12th.
Right.
So by doing that, it gives Matt Rosengart time to look into all of the allegations. He's going to open the books.
Well, Jamie has
Jamie
to surrender the books, and that's one of the things the judge said. Matt Rosengart said, "I want to see all of the books, and I want to see if he has misappropriated money." And by the way, our producer Jacob walked with Matt out of the courthouse and asked Matt Rosengart, if you find that Jamie Spears misappropriated money of Britney's, would she sue him? And he jumped on that and said, absolutely. So this could end up being a lawsuit between a daughter and her father. And that's absolutely in the cards if Matt Rosengart feels there was misappropriation.
Jamie Spears has to feel like he is under attack now. I mean, he knows that
Well, he's felt that.
He's felt that, but
Right.
Yes, he's been suspended from the conservatorship. The real battle for him is just beginning.
Right.
Because he could be in a world of trouble if Matt Rosengart finds
Don't you
what
think he
they
is going to
claim
find
is there.
something? Jamie
No,
Spears,
no.
Jamie Spears was
I don't know that.
nervous.
I don't
He
know
was
that.
so
He may
nervous,
not
you
find
guys.
anything. He may not
we
find a
don't
thing
know.
at
He
all.
was
No.
so nervous. Harvey.
But maybe he
13
was
years
nervous
of
because
paper trails.
maybe he's nervous about his daughter's condition and what's going to happen to
No,
her
then
estate.
why would he just want to terminate the conservatorship? He doesn't want another person appointed. He wants to just it terminated. Why?
And Courtney has a point that Jamie Spears did a 180 here. That Jamie Spears felt that this conservatorship was necessary, essential to her survival.
And also needed him.
And then
Yes.
all of a sudden, on a dime, he said, I think she should get out. I think she should get out now. So he did do that 180. Now, there's something else, because we need to talk about this, which is the conservatorship ending. Yeah. And so there is a hearing, like Charles said, on November 12th. And that hearing is designed to determine if the conservatorship should end. When our producer Jacob asked Matt Rosengart about that, he said, our intention is to end it on November 12th. Britney Spears could be free of this conservatorship then. The one question?
A mental evaluation.
Yeah. Whether
the
there's
judge-
going to be a
the
mental
judge-
Is
evaluation.
there
Did it-
going to be one?
It didn't even come up today.
didn't
in
even
court.
come up.
It was
But
not mentioned.
If both sides are saying the conservatorship doesn't need to be in place, both sides are saying this, is there even a need for a mental evaluation?
Well, the judge could say there is, and here's why. Now, this is why it's so complicated. You're right, that nobody is asking for it at this point. Matt Rosengart isn't, Britney isn't, Jamie isn't, so nobody says there should be one. The judge could still say on her own, look, this conservatorship has been in place for 13 years. When it went into effect, Britney was under an involuntary psychiatric hold. And she was evaluated by many doctors who said she has a serious mental illness. They had hearings every year where the doctors affirmed that to the judge, and the judge kept it going. So the question, is this judge going to say, to be responsible as a judge, should I require another one, or should I just listen to everybody and end it? And that's going to be the big question.
We said this, I think we said this last week, that the judge has already said that it's okay for Britney to select her own attorney on her own,
Right.
which she did. Okay, well, Judge, why would you have done that if you think that she has some mental health issues remaining?
It's a point. It's a really good point.
It all, to me, it lines up that the judge is going to say on November 12th, it's over. No mental evaluation. That's
oh
what
my
she's
goodness.
hinted at. That's what
Wow.
she's hinted at. I don't know that it's going to happen that way, obviously, and she may see something else that changes her mind. But at this point, the judge has shown that she thinks Britney has enough mental capacity to make big decisions.
I think that's right. I
So-
think that's right. I think when the judge said you can hire Matt Rosengart, everything changed.
Yep.
Because if you remember, this is not like going and buying, going to a movie and paying $20. This is hiring a lawyer, which is a really serious.
$20.
Absolutely.
We're not getting popcorn? What?
What does it cost these days?
so much more than that.
Yeah. Spoken from someone who watches movies from his home
Well,
theater.
I do. I watch it. Give me a break.
What do we give you a break?
I
He has
watch it from
heated
my
floors,
living
too.
room. Give me a break.
That'll
Harvey.
maybe get you a soda.
Okay. All right.
Are you really doing this?
He just did.
Okay,
Anyway,
okay,
yes.
can we now get into the celebration? Because this is huge
The
for
scene
the Free
at
Britney
the
movement.
scene outside the courthouse, even while the hearing was
Insane.
going on, I mean, the crowd erupted just when they found out, and the hearing was still going, but when they found out that Jamie had been suspended, just huge applause
Cheers.
outside, cheers. And Matt Rosengart, look, at this point, they might be carrying him on their shoulders. I don't know.
No,
because they
when
were
Jacob-
going crazy.
Jacob
for him.
shot it, and you see him approach the Britney people, and it's like,
He's like a rock star.
Yeah, it was like
He's
a rock star.
everything now. Like, oh.
Because we know for a fact there are two things that Britney has wanted for the past 13 years. She wants, one, the conservatorship to end, and she's two, wanted her father out. One of those things has been completed, and the fact that so many developments have happened since the documentary came out, since the Free Britney movement has, really come out with their voice. So many things have happened for Britney, and I can only imagine how emotional she is today. Her fiance Sam has spoken out saying #Free Britney, congratulations.
Anyway, check, has she posted anything? I know
No,
that Sam
I
knows
keep
that she
waiting.
posted anything.
No, she hasn't posted. I keep waiting for her to post.
Courtney, calm down here.
This is like
Well, we should check.
Independence
I mean, we should
Day.
check
This
if she
is like
posted. Is anyone
freedom. This
looking
is
at-
such a big day. I don't think you understand. We've been waiting for this day for so long. Christmas comes every year. Like all these days come, and 13 years we've been waiting for this.
I don't
It's
even
insane.
drink.
Could you
I don't
please
drink, I'm
not
ready
put this
for a
on the
drink.
level of religious holidays?
I know.
It
Can we
is.
please-
Okay, it's like the 4th of
please?
July. This is huge.
Okay,
Oh.
we've got our two.
No, our nation's-
we've got our two advocates here. I mean, look. One of the things going forward, and I happen to think the judge is not going to order a mental evaluation because of letting
Right.
her hire Matt Rosengart, because nobody is asking for it. Everybody's saying do it without. I have a feeling the judge is going to do that. Because honestly, if the judge does hold the mental evaluation and then there's a split with doctors, the judge is in a really difficult
Then is in a
position.
really,
Yeah.
yeah.
But she has a safety net because she has Sam, And she has Jody Montgomery, who said,
Right.
who is the personal conservator right now, but Jody said she would stay on after the conservatorship.
And Britney wants her.
If Britney said she wants her.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Britney
And
wants
she
her.
already agreed to go to therapy,
There it is.
continue that.
Did she
Oh,
post
she
it?
posted?
She's posted.
Charles, give us
Britney
the
Spears
tea.
says,
Oh,
on
get
cloud 9 right now. First time flying a plane and first time in a prop plane. Well, without the photo, I can't tell what this is.
I don't know. I could cry though. This is amazing.
How could you cry? You don't understand it
Because
yet.
I feel her emotion.
Wait,
I feel
hold
her
on a
emotion.
second.
What?
She
What?
is flying in a plane.
What?
She's flying in a plane.
What was that?
In a prop plane somewhere. I mean,
What
she's
is
not
she-
flying it. There
What
are
is she
pilots.
doing in a prop plane right now?
Geez, I was scared. Bring the ship home. JL. Stay classy, beautiful people. New pics coming soon.
Okay, guys.
Break it down. Go
Translate
ahead.
Break
it,
it down.
guys.
She's on a plane. She's high on life right
my
now.
She's on cloud 9. She's just let her
Okay,
have
I
this moment.
don't. I don't know that this is the
It's
video
not
is
recent, 'cause
current.
that looks like it's Hawaii.
She's somewhere tropical.
Oh,
it's
I
an
get
old
it.
video.
I get it.
Right.
Okay.
Well, Sam did post a photo with her, or at least what appears to be her. He's handing her a rose, and so he posted that. Seemingly, they are celebrating together.
On TMZ Live yesterday, we had a psychiatrist on, Dr. Charles Sophie, who has handled so many cases involving celebrities. He's handled conservatorship cases, and he had a really interesting idea. And he said, what if the judge ends the conservatorship but attaches one string? That Britney would have to come into court with her doctors every 3 or 6 months for a couple of times, and make sure that her medicines are being administered properly and that she's taking them. And if the judge feels she's doing it right, then the judge could end it altogether.
Now,
That's
but that would be ending. That would be after ending the conservatorship.
after ending the
altogether.
conservatorship
So
with
it's
that
an
one,
alternative
with
to
that one
conservatorship.
string, with
Right.
that one string. That's a way the judge could say, look, I'm going to make sure she's safe. And it's sort of like a mental evaluation,
Sure.
but not as onerous and not as complicated as it
Right.
might be otherwise.
Gosh, I feel like it's either you give her life back or you don't. I don't feel like you can keep those strings on. And I understand that the intent is for the best of her well-being. But for her to be thinking that I just got out of this and having such a hard time with all the medical evaluations, and then to feel like she still has to do these medical evaluations, and prove herself.
But but wait a minute. You've heard of people who have mental illness who don't take their meds. I mean, we've covered
I
this.
know, but also hold on. But I've also heard of a lot of people who have mental illness and are not under a conservatorship.
No, but she wouldn't be under what Sophie is saying. She wouldn't be under a conservatorship.
who also don't have to go into court.
But now it's winding down. So the question is, do you cut the cord right now, or do you do something to make sure she's safe?
You
In
cut
other
it.
words, wait a minute. In other words, and I'm not advocating it. I think this is a way to do it without a mental
But
evaluation.
I think what you have to count on, if you're getting rid of the conservatorship, and you see your point, Charlie. I mean, if you get rid of it, then instead you're relying on people like Sam, like Jody Montgomery, who are around her, and if they feel that she's not taking her meds,
Then
they've
what?
got-
Then
they've
what?
got to step in.
How? What do they do? We saw this.
Okay,
with,
they
hold-
can't. You're
hold
right.
on.
You're
we
right.
Saw, we
You're
saw
right.
this.
They can't.
We
No,
saw
you're
this
right.
with Kanye West.
I got it.
We
and
saw
they
this
can't-
with Kanye
right.
West.
And guess what? And Kanye West not under a conservatorship.
I understand
Right.
that, but
and
he
no one
went.
stepped up to the plate to be a conservative.
But the difference,
and
guys.
it wasn't necessary.
But the difference is, look, there was a conservatorship, and I don't think anybody sitting here right now can say 13 years ago it was ridiculous to put her under a conservatorship. That was then, this is now.
no,
But back-
nobody said that when it started.
I understand
Nobody
that.
did.
So all I'm saying is, look, the conservatorship has probably run its course, but don't you want to just make sure she's safe? She can live her life, do whatever she wants to do, but just to make
I mean,
sure
the whole
she's taking...
idea, the whole idea of giving her her freedom is that's what the freedom is. She has to make these decisions,
But-
and with the help of people
So,
around
Charles,
her, with
okay.
the help of people around her, and if something horrible happens,
What?
That's-
What?
that's what comes with freedom.
You're a free
Good.
Britney person. I didn't know it.
I-
I love it. You're coming over to this side.
I didn't think I was,
But
but
you are.
if you're going to give her her freedom, then give her her freedom.
But wait a minute.
And I'm sorry,
But
and I'm
then-
sorry.
oh, okay.
I hope that nothing bad happens, and you count on the people around her. Just like, by the way, just like all of us, you count on the people around you to help you.
The people around
the
Britney...
people around you to help you.
The people around Britney 13
Courtney,
years
when
ago.
Courtney goes out on the weekend and does whatever she's doing,
Oh, God.
you hope that her friends around her are going to say, you know what, hey, scale it back, or do this, do that.
They
Do
give you
something
Pedialyte
different.
in the morning.
Charles,
She's not under a conservatorship.
Charles, look.
Then keep her, but if you
here's
don't
the
think
thing.
she can do that,
But
you
there-
don't think the people around her
well,
can
there-
help her, then keep her under the conservatorship.
Well, but there's an alternative, which is to do a mental evaluation, which nobody wants to do right now. So all I'm saying is,
Okay, I agree. Then by the way,
guys, if they do a
I
mental
think the mental
evaluation,
Why do you want to do it? No one else is
know.
asking. Why are
No
you
one is
asking?
No, I'm not.
That's
Saying,
where
I
I
would
I'm saying it's probably. It's not going to happen. I don't think. But look, if Brittany is her doctors just have to come into court and say, look, she's taking her meds, and the judge says, I feel good about this. You don't even have to come back here anymore. Isn't that helping Brittany?
No,
It's not impeding her life.
But no, you're putting me on probation from my life. If
Right.
you do bad, then you're gonna go into conservatorship
No,
again.
no.
I'm on
You're
probation.
not
Yes,
saying
I
that.
am.
You're not
but
saying
you
that.
are saying that. You come every 3 months and show me that you're doing it okay.
That could happen even if the conservatorship ends, if there's a real problem.
But then give her time to prove that there is a real problem. Then let her do it. It's her life.
Freedom is freedom.
Free Brittany.
I am not advocating this. I'm just saying it's an option where you don't have to do a mental evaluation. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it should happen, shouldn't happen, but if the judge is saying either I'm going to do that evaluation or I'm going to require this every 6 months for a couple of times,
I agree.
Isn't that better?
I agree with you that the judge asking for a mental evaluation is wouldn't be out of line. It makes sense. Like you said, this thing started for a reason, so let's make sure when we're ending it doing the mental evaluation, I get it. That would make sense. But once you let her out, you let her out.
Okay.
You let her out. I just...
That may well be what happens. So look, November 12th, there's going to be a big hearing, and I think this conservatorship's coming to an end then. At that point.
Should I be wearing pink, or like what happens
Yeah.
now that I'm... What happens?
You
Do I-
converted him.
I know. We
What-
sure
what
did.
do I-
I did not think that we would get Charles, and we got Charles.
You know what?
You're
I
next.
bet you November 12th at this next hearing, you're going to be out there with your sign that says "Free
No,
Britney."
I'm pretty sure I'll be
your
working.
shirt.
I'm pretty sure I'll be working.
What Britney song are you putting on to drive home to?
I'm not.
Yes,
He's
you
gonna do
are.
it.
And by the way,
It's not about, by the way.
And don't count me
Oh,
as...
here we go.
No,
now,
no, no,
someone
no.
feels left out.
No,
Okay.
no. I'm not saying I'm part of it. Honestly, it's
You
so
worry
weird.
about it.
I have met Britney Spears one time in my life. I care about her, and I just want to make sure she's okay. And
I agree.
if this thing that Dr. Sophie talked about is an option, so you don't have to have a conservatorship, all I'm saying is may not be such a bad idea. May not be such a bad idea. So the other thing that happened in court, remember, Jamie started going after the person who was going to replace him, John Zabel, who was a CPA. And Jamie was saying he's unqualified, that he shouldn't be taking my position. I should be staying in this position until this conservatorship ends. And Matt Rosengart just blasted Jamie in court and said, how dare you? You have no
Yeah,
qualifications.
Yeah, exactly. Look in the mirror is basically what
Right.
Matt Rosengart
Jamie
said.
come out and-
You don't have
It's
qualifications.
rich coming from him.
Right. Said that obviously, I mean, he brought up the fact that you filed for bankruptcy, brought up the fact that, what happened? Oh, was my phone ringing?
Yeah.
My bad.
No, that
popular.
he brought up that Jamie
Did
had
he bring
alcohol
up his
issues.
alcohol issues?
Yeah, he
Yep.
did.
He actually brought that
Oh
up in
yeah.
court.
Oh, that's dirty.
He took the gloves off, and
You don't mess with Britney.
and ultimately there was very little that the judge had to really think about. The judge was very clear and very quickly said that I'm appointing John Zabel. Interestingly, appointed him as the temporary conservator of
Through the end of
Britney's
the year.
estate through the end of the year. Which is interesting why it was the end of the year if it seems like everybody has an eye to end the conservatorship on November 12th.
Is that a little pad?
It is a little pad. Maybe that's what it is. The other thing that we haven't talked about is that November 12th is the day they may well end the conservatorship. The next day, November 13th, is going to
about
be
money.
really important because it's about money. And then the question, who gets what? Because lawyers are asking for money, Jamie's asking for money, and you know Matt Rosengart is going to put up a fight on that.
Ooh, does Jamie get like a final paycheck? Will he
Well-
get a final check?
Or-
Does he get a thing in the mail that
Couldn't he
says,
have to
"This is your
owe?
final check, sir. You've
I mean,
you've been asked to
He'll be lucky if he
leave."
gets anything
Yeah.
at the end of this.
well, I mean,
Look, he did.
Yeah,
he did
yeah.
a job. Now, obviously, it's debatable whether he did a good job or a bad job, but he did do a job that was necessary. to be done.
I want to say something about this because everybody is just treating him like he is this vicious villain. And look, he made a lot of mistakes in this conservatorship, I think. But at the same time, if you go back 13 years, which we did, And 13 years ago, there was nobody there to help Britney Spears. I was told by somebody they were afraid they were going to wake up in the morning and get a call from the coroner. And she was in desperate shape. And there were people in her life that were not helping her at all. He stepped in when there was no fame, no glory, nothing. And he stepped in. And back then, he saved her life. Yeah. So you cannot just completely villainize this guy.
Saved her life, and at that time, by the way, was the conservator of her person as well as her estate, and arguably saved both. Not just saved her, obviously physically, but brought her estate to where it is now.
Yeah, but a lot of people
people feel that maybe her estate would be even bigger if he wasn't.
Well,
involved. But I don't know about that.
She was
in dire straits.
Dire straits back then, both financially and personally. And I don't think you can forget that. And I mean, look, it is his daughter. He made a lot of mistakes. I'll tell you one of the biggest mistakes he made, I think, is he allowed the business manager and the business manager's assistant to have basically run Britney's life. And I think that was a terrible idea. That he should not have relegated that. And he thought, oh, she knows. The way it was put to me was that Jamie said she's always the smartest person in the room. Whatever she says goes. And this is where it came out that Britney couldn't buy Skechers because her allowance. She couldn't put a new countertop in the kitchen because she had redecorated the living room. This woman has millions of dollars. She should be able to do what she wants. And she was getting nickeled and dimed by these people. And Jamie didn't step in. And Jamie also gave that business management company money that I think that he should never have done.
Right.
And
when her show went away, the amount of money they were making,
and they wanted more, and he said yes. And look,
that looks bad.
He made mistakes. He made a lot of mistakes. But he also did things. I mean, I just don't think you can completely villainize this guy. I really mean it.
But he doesn't own up to anything. That's the issue with Jamie. He never owns up to his mistakes, and he just says, "Oh, I saved her. No one cares."
And also, a lot of people feel that his motive to be involved wasn't necessarily to help his daughter, but a business opportunity.
That's
a way
I think that's
money.
unfair.
That's
Charlie. That is unfair.
Charlie, if you go back 13 years, there was no possibility that Britney Spears was ever going to perform again. She was in such bad shape.
Right.
So when he stepped in, it wasn't like, oh wow, she's going to perform. It was she's going to live. We want her to live.
Album. She
No, that was long after. That was years later.
That was years later. No, it wasn't.
What song do you think she's gonna dance to first? You know she put on music. It's Britney. She always dances to everything. What the spinning, the spinning was out of control. She's still dizzy.
It's gonna be gimme more.
Yes, it's so good.
Well, we will see what happens.
Welcome to the club, Charles, by the way.
Okay, so let's talk for a second. So this is our first of many podcasts. We're going to be doing this regularly, and we're going to be having all sorts of new podcasts here at TMZ.
This is the first for this one, but there are going to be a lot of other podcasts.
That's right. And we're going to be doing this one regularly, talking about all the stuff that's going on in entertainment, celebrity news, pop culture, all that. So, pitch it.
So make sure you follow or download on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. You will find this podcast and all of the podcasts that we're doing.
And you will also find Charlie and Courtney at a local bar tonight celebrating. So if you see them, buy them a margarita.
Oh, absolutely.
A double.
I'm not going that far.
Yes,
there will be no celebration.
Okay, guys. We'll see you.